Welcome back to our second video. If you've hung with me so far, then you are in desperate need of a palate cleanser for this Friday morning. We've got the Royals. Let's go. We're going to start off with Andrew. I know he's not a working royal, but we do know that he's been asked to vacate the royal lodge by his brother, King Charles. We know about everything that's been going on. Charles took away Andrew's £1 million a year living allowance. He's taken away his security. He's done everything possible. Well, we heard that Andrew has found some benefactor to help him out. What's being reported is that Charles is giving Andrew out of his own pocket. So the king has cleared everything. Charles is paying for it. It's done. That way Andrew can stay in the mansion and the taxpayers are not, they don't have their hand in any of it. I think that's interesting. All right, let's move on. Let's move on now. I love this story about King Charles. He was in Notting Hill on December 4th, visiting St. Peter's Church. It's in an upmarket area of London that apparently was made internationally famous by a Richard Curtis movie. Now, he was there to thank aid volunteers and supporters of the Disaster Emergency Committee, and the engagement was not announced in advance for security reasons. But apparently, when passerbyers saw his car, they began to catch a glimpse of Charles as he left. Well, oh my God, they came from the United States. I love that. And so Charles decided to walk over and do an impromptu, walkabout and said, "Are you trying to go somewhere else? I hope you're not getting too wet." And the woman goes, No, thank you. We're not. We're on holiday in the UK. Charles was like, "Are you having an enjoyable time?" And the woman goes, "Well, we are now." It's a good thing I wasn't there because I would have been hugging the stuffing out of this man. Security would have been all over me. That just shows you what a down-to-earth, personable guy Charles is, no airs. He just walks up to people. I love that. All right, let's move on. Now, if I have my date right, on December 12th, Princess Anne held an investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle. 3 people who were invested were Buddha Mangar, who is the first double amputee to climb Mount Everest. Love that. Sheila Mason, who is the lace maker who supplied the lace for Catherine's wedding dress, and actress Rose Ellis. Congratulations to everybody. All right, next up, I probably should have put this not under the royal family one, but I just thought it was important to put it here because William and Harry will not reunite for the Diana Awards this year again. They decided to separately congratulate the winners. Now, we know the Diana Award was set up in memory of their late mother, but yeah. Let me just say that after what Harry pulled last year, I'm shocked. Okay, let me just... As a reminder, Meghan decided to release ARO last year, right as William was walking up to the podium to give his speech. Then Harry was out skiing somewhere with Kris Kardashian's boyfriend. So he made the winners wait because of the time difference. It was after midnight before he was actually able to meet them on a live stream. So this year he's decided to be a little bit kinder and just do a taped message so that people don't have to sit around waiting for them. William, of course, wrote an absolutely fabulous letter that said, "Congratulations on receiving the Diana Award. I am so proud of the impact every one of you has had on the community and beyond. You are driven by kindness and compassion, and through this, you are all changing the world for the better." Listen, I have absolutely no doubt that one of the reasons why William decided to write something instead of trying to give a speech is because maybe he's concerned that Meghan will pull the same kind of crap that she pulled last year, and he doesn't want the award overshadowed. But how sad is it that he probably had to change the way that the Diana Award was being done this year, specifically because nobody knows what Meghan's going to do? I just think that's absolutely terrible. All right, let's move on to our next story. Let's go back now to the Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. This past Wednesday, he went to the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst. He was welcomed by the Secretary of State for Defense of the United Kingdom, John Healey, the Commandant of Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, Major General Nick Cowley. He listened to an explanation on the joint Qatari-UK squadron exercises. He then met with several academics and Qatari candidates or cadets at the academy. He also, the Emir did, witnessed an air show of warplanes. He was accompanied by a number of their excellencies and members of the official delegation. You should know that also, besides watching a fly pass, some new agreements were signed that between Qatar and the UK, they signed new defense agreements, which I think is pretty cool because you may not know this, but Qatar is one of the UK's closest partners in the Gulf region and one of the first places that Defense Secretary Healey visited after his appointment in July. So the Emir and the Secretary of Defense discussed their commitment and signed new agreements as well. Pretty cool. Let's move on. Next up, that evening, which is December the 4th, the Emir went with the Duke of Gloucester to a dinner that was hosted by the Lord Mayor of the City of London at Mansion House, the Guildhall. And it looks like, fabulous. I don't believe the Emir's first wife, I'm going to call her that, the first wife, because there's three of them. I don't believe that she was present. I will say that I thought the Emir looked quite dashing in his tux with the bow tie. That's the kind of tux that I like. You guys know what I'm saying. All right, let's move on again. So as the day came to an end, it was time for the Emir and wife number one to leave. So they did a formal farewell on the steps. You know how they do. They walk them out, they wave them on, and they go to leave. I could not help but notice, as you're about to watch the video, that they got in separate cars. For me, that's like so odd. It's like the Emir's wife made sure that he was safely ensconced in his car. Look, and then she walks on to her own car, which makes no sense to me because I believe they were simply headed back to the airport. So I don't know what that was, but okay. The cars pulled off, they waved them goodbye. And then, of course, the notification came out that after this visit, there will be no more state visits until 2027 because there's a refurbishment program going on at the palace and it has to be completed. I have to tell you, I really like Camilla in that lavender purple color. All right, next up, Queen Camilla, even though she's tired, she's still trying to keep on with her duties. Well, come to find out that Madame Macron and her both have a personal interest in literature and literacy. And so they decided to, quote, shine a light on Franco-British literary talent. As an FYI, they did remark that there was a translator there. So Camilla, who, by the way, was wearing Dior, I love it, was with the First Lady of France at the French ambassador's residence in London for the prize ceremony. It's called Entente Littéraire. No, I don't speak French. So these two women launched this project last September during the King and Queen state visit to France. It's a prize for young adult fiction in translation in French and English, and it marks the second time the Queen has refused to miss a literary event despite the ongoing illness. So that just shows you how committed she is. I love it. All right, let's move on. Finally, I have to discuss this. No, he's not a royal, but you know, he is Princess Diana's brother. He's been married 3 times. He's in the middle of his 3rd divorce. He already has a new girlfriend. And you have to know that all your secrets are going to come out. That's the way it works. So his new girlfriend, Dr. Kat Jarman, she's a TV archaeologist. And apparently she has MS. What's the big deal? So she says, for 6 years, I've gone to great lengths to keep it hidden. Nobody knew, not even my TV colleagues knew. She didn't even tell Charles Spencer, but it's not that scandalous or salacious, so I'm not sure what the big deal is. Well, the big deal is, so what it comes down to is Charles Spencer's wife, Lady Spencer, found out about the MS and apparently told people. So this woman claims that she's going to sue her lover's wife for releasing that information. I think Karen Spencer, who by the way is still living at Althorpe, should sue her for alienation of affection. That's what I think she should do. Oh my God. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up button, then go down into the description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, which is currently paused, my Amazon wishlist, and a physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.